It's a scary moment.
We're back.
We go. Leap of faith. Hey, how about a round of applause for us? We're the Jasons, Wygant, and Thomas. We do this show, SMX Insider, the best weekly review and preview show of the races on the internet. The best.
I'd say the best SuperMotocross licensed show that comes out Thursday afternoons.
No, I think 7 days a week. There's other people that are about to be here. It's better than their shows, I can tell you that. Welcome to our podcast Mashup. We will have the James Stewart here. We'll have Lewis Phillips, Steve Mathis in a moment. But JT, we've been in meetings all week. We even had a meeting with the AMA, so we understand what all the rules are. It is a championship on the line in both classes with big money, and we kind of think, I hate to use the Vegas cliche, some people are going to be rolling the dice. It has the potential to get crazy this weekend.
Well, I think so. And you know, Hayden obviously had some technical difficulties, but the opportunities he had to talk through it, he wanted nothing to do with it, right? I don't think he wants to preempt anything. He knows that it's going to get dicey, right? And walking through scenarios, I have to give Mike Pelletier from the AMA a lot of credit because people were throwing out some wild what-ifs in that meeting, and he had an answer for all of them. It may not be the answer that everybody wants. Like, there's going to be a lot of things that it may not be perfect, but this is going to be the ruling if it goes this way, which I appreciate because it doesn't feel like they're going to be caught by surprise by much.
No, that is true. The things that the first thing when people criticize referees or rule makers is they're like, it feels like you guys are making it up as it goes. They have come up with all the answers now 24 hours in advance of almost anything we could think of. We threw every scenario at them, and he had an answer already. So that was good.
Yeah, and to me, really, and we'll get into this, of course, but I think for Hayden, it comes down to, is he going to be able to get any help or not? Because with the probation thing, Hayden can't take it into his own hands and force Joe's destiny upon himself. He has this Denver probation thing looming, which would take him out of the running, effectively, right? Unless he just completely eliminates Joe from championship contention with the move. Seth Haymaker doesn't race well, and nobody else. Maybe there's a way he finds, but I think it's going to come down to that. I think there's going to be a lot of shenanigans. I think it's going to be really chaotic at some point tomorrow evening in the 250 class. And I don't know what that looks like. I'm not going to pretend that I have it all figured out in my head. I just know with this much money on the line and the way they're all gaming this out, it's going to be chaotic at some point.
Yeah, because it's two things. It's what is Deegan willing to do to try to prevent Joe from getting second if he wins, but also this other, as we saw last week, pack of rabid dogs in that class that are only out for themselves. I mean, Levi Kitchen said 100 ways. Do we think that it was helpful that it was Deegs and he didn't have any sympathy for Deegs last week? Absolutely. But mostly he was just like, the better I do, the more money I make. And that's everybody on the gate. So they have no reason to help Joe get second. They all want to get second, triple points, maximize their score. What's funny, though, is that we essentially have a similar 450 scenario. We don't even think that any of those guys would do that. It's just like gentleman's racing. We don't think Eli Tomac would take Lawrence Brothers out, I don't think, right?
No, I mean, that's not really in the cards, but that's part of what we're dealing with is youthful exuberance, right? And I was trying to think about this week is what's likely? What could they possibly do in like real terms? Like, what does this look like? Because forget about the crazy stuff. Like, I don't think that you're going to see a human torpedo come out of a monster Yamaha Star Racing motorcycle, but they can do more subtle things. They can line up riders on both sides of Joe Shimoda.
Yeah.
They can mess around with him. Like if he gets a reasonably bad start, they're going to make his life very, very difficult tomorrow. So it's going to be in the margins. If you're looking closely, you're going to see, I think, some team tactics at play. But I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, it's going to make for a fantastic show. But I don't think it's going to be the worst possible case, extreme scenario anyway.
Maybe, but I say we always overhype these things and overthink it. And then we had the Salt Lake City Monster Energy Supercross earlier this year. Do you guys remember that? That had things we weren't even thinking about. We didn't have, Julian Beaumaire is going to slow Hammaker up to help Hampshire. We didn't even have that on the radar, and we thought we had overhyped it. We underhyped it. We didn't have RJ going for the knockdown pass. So I don't know, man. It might not be. That was not subtle.
Oh, I don't want to downplay the chaos I mentioned in my previous comment.
Okay.
I've heard people saying, like, somebody's just going to go clean Joe out. I don't know. Maybe. But I think it's going to be more of the juju move in Salt Lake, right? Getting in the way, playing a role versus like you're just going to see him shoot out of the side of the track and plow him.
Okay. And also, we're going to bring our guests here in a minute, but also I do want to ask this. That is Supercross. That was a traditional Supercross bowl turn before the finish. That's where RJ got Hammaker. Is it as easy to find a spot on this track to do it, or is it easier for Shimoda to escape? Those bowl turns, there's very little you can do. Ask Deegs last week.
Well, to me, it really just depends on how willing are you to crash yourself.
Okay.
At bowl berm, yes, you can knock somebody down without crashing yourself. If your intent is for that person to crash, you can do that on any track in America because they're going to set out on the outside for a corner somewhere, and you're just going to cut across the apex and not try to turn. So it just depends on how desperate and how willing they are to make this move.
Imagine if Tomac did that to Jet Lawrence. Just imagine. I cannot see this world. I would need AI to draw that for me.
Think about the things that you did when you were 18 versus the decisions you would make now. It's no different. They just wouldn't do that type of thing. They're adults now, and when you're 18 or 19 and you're not thinking and it's bright lights and the scenario, you make silly decisions. So part of me is hoping for some very silly decisions.
Yes.
But I think it's going to be a little bit more subtle than that.
Okay. I'm going to go back to all those 250 guys are maximizing their position. Pierce Brown.
A kitchen? Like maximizing his position?
That's what he said. That's what he said he was doing. Last year, Pierce Brown came in 7th in points, had one good night in triple points. He upped his take $118,000 from jumping from 7th to 3rd. So there's so much incentive for these guys to beat Joe, beat Hayden, do whatever it takes to even get 3rd in the championship. I thought the Masterpool, he's 7th. How is Masterpool 7th in points? It makes no sense.
It doesn't. I mean, Faulkner was 6th going into last weekend. So, but I will say, to your point, if Nate Thrasher is in the fight and he knows that taking Joe out gives him another $100,000.
Yep.
100%. 100% he will do it because the team's going to love him for it. His bank account's going to love him for it. The fans, half of them are going to love him for it. But yeah, I wouldn't rule it out.
That's what we got to look for, amongst many other things. Let's bring in our first two guests who do other podcasts during the week. Not as good as SMX Insider, but we'll give them a few minutes on stage. From the Pulp MX Show, Steve Mathis, and for Vital MX, Lewis Phillips. Come on out, boys. So these guys do some shows as well. They know riders. They have sources. They have contacts. And they have water. So thank you, Steve. Nothing but not a great gentleman, human being.
Yeah, you're welcome anytime. They just said give those idiots some water. So
okay, fair.
So we
Lewis, first thing I noticed, a lot of branding you have. You come out very colorful today.
Yeah, I'm for sale. I'm open to any and all offers. I feel very special having Chase looking over me from the board there. This feels like
we're going to get into
setup.
that. Okay. We're going to get into that.
If you had a hat, it'd be on backwards.
Yep.
It would be on backwards.
That's my program.
Not showing any logos.
Yep. Just got to follow the greats.
That's where he learned. That's where he learned it. You know what? That is interesting. You bring up Chase Sexton. Not interesting that you did, because you always bring up Sexton.
Wow.
But there was so much chaos last week. I think that got a little overlooked. There wasn't enough talk, I think, about Sexton was 2nd in points coming out of Charlotte. What the heck? What the heck, man?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like I'm a bit on the spot here.
Yes, that is a goal.
That would seem like the goal here.
We're on a Mashup podcast where we ask you questions.
Yeah, I'm going to mash up my answer here. I don't think he was especially happy with the bike. I'm going to go out on a limb.
All right.
I'm not entirely sure what went down on the last lap, but potentially, maybe this is a bigger picture plan because the last 2 years he's come into the finals right there.
Okay.
It's not worked out. So we're doing the opposite this year, and that will all work out, I think, maybe.
Go out with a win, chaos. What is he, 6th? 6th to 1st.
And it will be the greatest story that the sport has ever seen.
We truly have no idea what happened on the last lap?
I'm not entirely sure, no.
What does that mean, though? Like, you know, but you don't want to tell us?
No, I genuinely don't know. I didn't ask specifically.
He was looking down on his bike, which that happened a lot to my riders.
Yeah, you have a lot of experience.
Yeah, I can picture a guy not happy with his mechanic. You know, just what's going on?
Something's wrong.
Yeah, something's wrong. That was weird, though. Yeah, not ideal.
He's right there. If you scream loud enough, you may be able to lull him over.
That's his motorhome.
Oh, you think he'll come over?
Yeah.
What happened on the last lap?
Yeah.
I give it a shot.
Yeah.
They actually had the footage. We were done with our show last week, the TV show, and they had footage of Chase's last lap. And they're like, hey, JT, RC, Stu, watch this. See what you can come up with. Yeah, no one had anything.
Well, at first, it looked like he thought that he got the checkers and not the white flag. That's what it looked like at first. But then he was getting passed, so there's plenty of time to, oh no, I gotta go. Right?
Yeah, like maybe one or two guys.
Right. He didn't do that.
Right.
And then after that, he was looking down at his motorcycle. So whether there was something wrong or he thought there was something wrong, I think is really where we're at. I'm just trying to figure out which of those two is actually the truth.
I tell you what, that first moto, which was phenomenal ride by the Jet Kid, catching Chase rather easily and then pulling away like that, that is a tough deal if you're Chase Sexton. You're not comfortable, you're not happy, and this dude comes up to you quick, gets you, and see you later.
Okay, yeah, fair. But if you watched it closely, which we know you're not great at doing, the first half of the race, he was marking Jet, and they weren't really losing or gaining time to each other. Like, it was toe-to-toe. They could see each other in the switchback before the finish, and it was very manageable. And then it just went sideways, which makes me think maybe shock fading.
Oh, here we go.
Talks of those, you know.
Oh,
Like,
here we go.
It
I
made me think that something went wrong.
I asked Tom Vial about his shock.
You did?
Yep. And he said, nope, shock was fine.
Forks?
Fork was the problem.
Forks were a problem.
Forks were the problem. But the shock, fine. Shorter races, he said, no problem.
And Supercross, big Supercross setup works.
Yeah.
But go back, watch the race, look at the lap times. The first half of that first moto, Chase was running Jet's pace, toe-to-toe, pulling away at points. It was glorious.
Like
Brilliant.
if you are at corporate WP suspension, like how bad are things going for you right now? Like where is your head? Because you're hearing about Tom with the shock at Budds Creek, you're hearing about the forks at St. Louis, you're hearing about something with Chase all the time. There's crazy things going on with Chase's suspension that we're not even going to talk about. How bad? Like is there voodoo dolls that he is stabbing with needles back wherever he works?
I think that there is quite a divide between America and Europe, and I think that's where maybe some of the problems come from. I don't know if there's a lot of back and forth WP-wise. And from what I know from the European side, I think that's kind of where they're at. Like, we're not asked to help, so...
I look at this. Look, this has not been a good year for KTM. Chase is leaving. Chase has KYB internals. Tom Vial's refusing to ride a moto. All this stuff. The Cowboy got sick. I mean, good God, the Cowboy.
Well, you know what's going to fix all this? Jorge Prado.
Jorge Prado.
He is going to fix all of this.
I have a theory that all of this bad luck, quote unquote, for KTM is really karma coming around because they signed Ryan Dungey, gave him an enduro bike, and he started winning on it.
Yes.
Like, it was like they gave him a bike that was a 450 enduro model. They shimmied up the cases and fixed the transmission, and then the dude was winning Supercrosses on it. So I feel like, hey, KTM, it's taken 15 years. Karma's coming back.
Well, let's bring out the guy that took Ryan's bike when he got on this enduro bike that you're mentioning. We bring out our next guest.
The guest?
The guest.
The guest.
Yes.
What bike are you talking about? I'm confused.
Well, Dungey was on a Suzuki.
Oh, that bike.
Then
okay.
they got.
I thought he
this
was
guy.
talking about the guy riding enduro. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I was like,
Dungey got this KTM, and then this guy got Dungey's bike.
Yes, and did quite well on it. Let's welcome to the stage none other than the James Stewart, everybody. Yeah.
He was a good rider.
He was
a very good rider.
Very good. There we go.
I used to watch James a lot and be like, man, he's a good rider.
Do you even know what he used to do in Villapoto's truck all the time? Do you even know about this? After practice, he would walk into the truck. We got this mic working?
Fill me in. Yeah,
Oh, we're good.
Sorry, I was trying to get my Chris Brown tickets and right back there. Everybody's got rental cars. Can't get a rental car around here. $50 for an Uber.
We had
Anyways,
to carpool.
but anyways,
You name it.
Yeah.
He used to go into Villapoto's truck after practice every week and be like, dude, he's looking good. He's got you handled.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know if this is going on. It was great times.
Well, because back then, Ryan was only really scared of one guy, the Chad. Everybody else, Ryan Dungey didn't matter, but he knew, James, that if you were on it, you could beat him. And so I, busting his balls all the time, was like, look, man, Stu looked good. Stu jumped this, Stu's on top, and then Ryan would be like, woo, and then we'd get into it. So I knew that would get him going because he really only felt like you could threaten him.
So you were, like, against me.
No, he was saying you look great.
Yeah, I was telling him how great
He wasn't,
you look.
he wasn't trying to pump Villanova. He was
No,
trying to
I
get
mean,
underneath Villanova.
I get it.
Yeah.
He's still mad about Dirty Dog Ferry, so you're trying to hype it up. Yeah, no wonder he didn't like me. I mean,
Who, Villapoto?
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, he
no,
liked
listen,
me,
it's all
but,
Steve.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was all.
all Matt.
Steve.
Yeah, he always said like, oh boy, if Stu's on, I got problems, and you would
Yeah.
beat him a lot. Yep.
No, I wasn't on that much back then. So, yeah. And it was funny. I was kind of afraid. He was one of the guys that I always felt like he was fast. Like when he was on, he had some pace. Kind of underestimated how fast he was when you think about all the arrows. Like him, Dungey was good, but Villa was one of the guys that I was afraid of. He had some pace.
That race you guys had at Monster Cup was 13, 14 was
13, yeah.
unbelievable. Like the things
good
you
night.
like cutting back underneath each other. Like I watched that the other day, and you think back about eras and crossing over generations, and you think about like McGrath, then to Ricky, then Ricky into you, there was a small window in each of those combinations where
Yeah.
everybody was at their kind of their best, and you just got these races that were unreal. I just wish we got more of them, right? Like the where you were at your best and where RV was at the best. We only got like a handful of them, maybe 4 or 5 races.
Yeah, I was still trying to build confidence. The few years on Yamaha really kind of messed with me mentally, trying to get back, and then had a good start, 24-0 on Suzuki. Jason,
Yeah,
thank
we
you very much.
saw it coming.
Yep, it was there.
Yeah.
He went 1-1, and we're like, could he go perfect again? You know,
Perfect.
this is the great James Stewart. I'm like, that's a totally logical comment. He didn't quite think so.
Yeah,
little too much too soon.
So that Monster Cup race was every lap I was building it, and actually beating him that race kind of spun on my 14 season. So we always talk about on the broadcast, like all these guys are so good, they're just waiting for something to trigger, just to be like, I guess I am that good. So that night you're talking about, that second moto, kind of built my off season, and then going into 2014, actually believing that I could win. And it was from how dominant that dude was for a while.
Steve, you were there also. Like, was there ever a moment in like 2013 where you're like, you know what? I don't know if Stu thinks he can win. I never,
we're
that
shocked when we hear
never,
this. No. Yeah.
never would have crossed my mind in a million years.
I mean, the guy didn't ride the second practice a couple times in Supercross because he was like, I'm good. Like, that to me is an ultimate power move. He's like, yeah, I'm good, man.
Yeah, we never thought that you lacked confidence at any point. We would have never thought this.
Yeah, no, I was kind of struggling in that department at that time. Yeah.
Wow.
You did a great job of hiding it.
Yeah, well, that's part of the greatness, right? You got to hide the lie. So
I think that you had a triple air fork. You needed a quadruple air fork back then in Suzuki days. Remember that thing? You hated that fork.
there was a few things I didn't like back then. Yeah, but it was good times. It was good times. I always had a good time here in Vegas. You know, me and Ricky were talking last week about the 2003, the quote unquote the 125 jump, and 03. Actually, the night I got knocked out, but I was jumping that quad.
Yep.
And I used to like it because coming here, they always seemed like they built rhythm sections at this last race. It was like you go to Anaheim, everything's new, but then you come to Vegas, they seem like they just did things, and I always look forward to coming here because of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's a good place.
That jump was ridiculous, by the way. I was out there, and I'm like, I remember going, like, I was jumping, like, you were going 4 over tabletop, and I was, like, jumping the one before that, and I'm like, I don't understand the physics of how he's getting there on a 125. Yeah, but that was pretty typical for everything you were doing on your motorcycle, honestly.
All right, we got audience questions here, right? Let's have it.
Craig Hayda, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Spring Creek's the best track in the country.
Steve agrees. Yep.
Okay, my scenario is 2 laps ago, second moto. We're talking about a lot of torpedoes coming about. What about that guy, and who could be that guy that says, I'm not getting into that, I'm waiting for it to happen, and I'm going to make my more money or whatever without getting any chaos?
Hammaker, no?
Yeah, Hammaker's probably with the most to gain by staying out of it, in a way.
Yeah, he said that to me earlier when I spoke to him. He said, I'll just stay out of it, and then if something happens, I'll be able to take advantage, and there I go.
I think you guys are missing the point. I watched your press conference, the one that didn't really work today, but I watched the
We saved it for this.
I watched the press conference. Deeg said, it's okay. It's all okay. So,
Oh, yeah.
We're fine.
Dead honest.
yeah. we're
Dead
fine.
honest.
He
Yep.
sounds like he's just,
Said it was
That's
cool.
the transparency we want.
yeah.
Yes.
It's great to see.
Yeah, he said he's good.
He
But
said
I
it's
would
cool.
ask you,
Cool.
obviously, I understand your point. But what can he do on probation and get away with it without it negating the championship at the same time?
Yeah, he's just got to win to me, right? That's it.
Well,
Just go
okay,
win.
then do you take him at his word then?
No, that's him.
Is it?
Yeah.
What did I do?
Deke says it's cool.
So you do believe he's just going to do nothing but just go win the race?
Yep.
Okay.
What? Okay, maybe that's the Joe front, but what about the kitchen payback? We're not allowed to use the word payback, but what about a kitchen front? Does he try to settle a score there?
No, it's okay. It's
Okay.
all good.
Okay, good.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
No, first of all, I don't think he's thinking about Kitchen tomorrow. I was saying the ultimate sign of disrespect is to say, like, I'm not even worried about you. I'm not doing anything about Kitchen, especially not with this much on the line and on probation.
Yeah, this isn't the
No.
right place to be
No.
worried about Levi
No.
Kitchen. That will be served cold later. I do believe, but you can't worry about Levi this weekend. It does nothing to help you to be involved with Levi Kitchen at all.
I could see a little move in qualifying, just a little break
I
there
think
for a
like
little-
save that for later. Like show me that clip again, in a few months, but not right this weekend. There's just no upside. There's zero upside in being involved in anything Levi Kitchen for Hayden.
James, we had Ezra Lusk on the show Monday night, and he's working with the AMA now, and it was really funny because he said he was talking to Levi after the race about the move. And eventually, Levi was trying to use all these excuses and whatever. Ezra said he started laughing, and he said, "You just got to get better at taking people out. I can help you."
Yeah.
That's what Yogi said.
Yeah, I mean, Yogi wasn't really a guy that I don't remember him taking too many people out.
Jeremy at St.
No,
Louis.
he's good. He could do it.
Yeah, he could do it.
could do it.
I mean, yeah, we can all do it, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you expect just talking about the press conference, and I mean, I do feel like those guys will go out and race, but if he did have alternative plans, it's like if I'm gonna rob you, like I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna rob you.
Exactly.
Like at first, no, I'm just do it, and be like, well, things change. It's a revolving door. So
I do think that Ricky had a great kind of strategy on our call on Wednesday this week where he talked about the first moto, you just go win the moto because you don't know what Joe's going to do. What if Joe gets a bad start? What if Joe has a problem? You need to get that first moto win under your belt, and whatever happens in the moto, fine. In between motos, that's when you start to try to formulate a plan because then you'll know where Joe's at. You'll know what Joe needs to do. You'll know what you need to do, and then you can do something. But if you go out and you don't win the first moto, it kind of doesn't matter anyway. So I thought that was pretty wise.
Poor Joe.
Poor Joe. You guys feel bad for Joe at all? Anybody feel bad for Joe?
Like the nicest guy.
He is a
He's
nice
got
guy.
drink weird on his
I don't feel
helmet.
bad for him. He's leading the championship. He's got to get first or second, but it has to be difficult to not have a teammate and know that like everybody in blue has a reason to kind of aim at you.
1,000% the star guys start on each side of Joe.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
well, there's enough of them on the track that
Yeah,
could
they
happen
could
just in general.
fill up the gate,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
Yeah, but I think Joe is the one guy that he's kind of Cody Shock. I think Hayden makes some passes on a lot of people, but Cody Shock just sits differently. All the people like Joe. I think everybody in the pits like Joe, the other riders. So I mean, nonetheless, I don't think any of the guys, including Hayden, they don't really want to get into it. But I mean, it's a championship on the line. You got to do what the boss says or whatnots. But I think these guys will race fair, and then whatever happens, it happens.
I'm with Stu.
Yeah,
Of course you are.
Yeah.
It's so incredibly. I don't even have the vocabulary to describe how important it is for Joe to get good starts tomorrow night. If he gets out front the way he has been, is in top 3, the likelihood of something going crazy, haywire, any sort of plan being able to be effective is, I don't want to say 0, but really low. If he starts 8th, then it's game on because anybody on a blue bike that wants to be involved is going to have their opportunity to be involved, and he's just random chance of getting your 3rd anyway. So the starts are. He's been getting great starts. It's really good for him in this scenario, but they are pivotal tomorrow.
Another audience question here.
Hi, I'm Pete Bachman from Seattle, Washington. My question's for James. You're known as an innovative rider, risk versus reward, Bubba Scrub. So how did you weigh the risk versus reward, and what would your advice be for these young riders tomorrow?
You talking about just in general or just for the championship? Like, I mean, a lot of people think for me, it was risk versus reward. It's actually quite the opposite. It was joking around last week talking to the guys. I'm like, a lot of the jumps that I used to jump, like the quads, it was safer for me to do it that way, to be honest. And, you know, so a lot of it's pretty situational. And, you know, for the guys out there tomorrow, I mean, they know how to ride. I mean, all these guys, they're just looking for, you know, belief in their own self. So I would, championship-wise, I would just go tell them just do whatever to do. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, we are an industry, and what happens here, you got to see these guys in a few months, and you might be in that situation, and it's going to be a hard spot to be in, especially if you're one of the teammates and somebody's telling you to do something. But at the end of the day, like, you got to go racing. I'm more curious to feel like to ask, what do you guys think about it? Like, I mean, how do you feel if mayhem breaks loose, a teammate gets into it tomorrow, like as far as the championship, and they unfortunately they get into it with Joe? Like, I mean, as far as a fan's perspective, do you look at things differently? Like now, do you look at Hayden or that situation any differently, or are you just like racing's racing?
Want to do a little poll here? We'll do a little poll. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Like, so just go race straight up, like.
Straw poll?
Yeah.
Oh, we could do it. We can do it with audience sound.
I just want to say this before
all right.
we'll do a poll, but I got Loretta's qualifying next year.
Nobody want to talk about you. Do the poll.
When I'm in a hospital from a quad, I'm going to tell my wife, Stu said it's safer.
Yeah.
Stu said this was safer, honey.
You'll be in the hospital from a double, not a
It's
quad.
situational. It's situational. I'm like that little discretion on the
Your
bottom.
situation is don't do the quad.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Okay, all right.
Your situation is not his situation. All right. Would you people say? How many people would say that's awesome? A title's on the line. I totally think it's cool to do whatever it takes, and no disrespect. How many people feel that way? One person is raising their. We'll do a show of hands. We'll do a show of hands. How many people would be like, come on, man, that's not the way you should win it? Show of hands.
There you
Interesting.
go.
Good point, James.
Yeah, there you go. Is it because, would that be for any rider, or is that because of Joe? Like, or just anybody?
Because of Joe. Somebody did say because of Joe.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, racing's not a contact sport, according to him.
Might be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys are all overselling this. That's myself, but whatever.
Now you're.
Deeks just
I
has
couldn't
to
tell
win.
if you were sarcastic.
Doesn't just have
You're
to
being
win.
really serious.
Deeks has to win.
Are you
And
familiar
he
with
Doesn't
Deeks'
just.
work?
You know how the points work, sir.
I know, but like he has to win, and let Thrasher or Davies or whoever help him. But Deeks has to win and hope for the best. And
Yeah, we know all that.
Yeah.
We're talking about what else is going to
I
happen.
don't think Hayden does anything.
No, it's just what I said about probation. He really can't do anything.
Yeah, truthfully, I think Hayden's going to go out and race fair, honestly. Like, I don't think he will do it. And the reason I don't is because of all the people that just raised their hands. Like, I actually had a feeling that it would feel that way. We talked about it on the call. I said it's not just, it's optically, it's a bad look, you know? And I don't think Hayden wants to race that way. I don't think he's always, I think we are talking about it more than they're even mentioning it. So, yeah, but I was curious to hear.
The only thing I would say is, like, he's going to have to see all these guys again at A1, right? I think that he may just want to drive up and see them in a new Ferrari. That may be enough,
But
though.
JT,
I think
also,
that may be enough.
With the Davies thing in Seattle, like you could tell when the crowd started booing him, like which wasn't even that bad of a move. Let's face it, it was fine. When the crowd started booing Deeks, he was caught off, and that's why he told him to suck it.
Right.
But like, so you could tell that hurt him. That was
it did.
You know, like.
And I don't think he's going to be the perpetrator of this because he can't. He cannot. By rule, with that probation, the point penalty will be too punitive for him to do it. So it's going to have to be some other marginal, subtle way of getting this done.
Max Anstey into this. Your guy.
He's a wild card rider. Yeah. He'll be on the far outside. He's gonna take some work to get into this. I think.
Cut over. We have another audience question there.
Guys, Lewis Moore from the UK. I know the 250s obviously is the most exciting at the moment, but in the 450 class, with so many riders moving around like Chase, Eli, etc., do you think they're kind of backing off a little bit at the end of the season, leaving teams, or they're kind of trying to say, I'm the guy and on a new bike I'll be the man?
Well, Lewis is the only one that understood that, so you're going to have to answer.
Honestly, it's quite weird hearing that accent. I'm not used to it. I feel a bit caught off guard.
Does he call it a body belt?
I don't know. Ask him.
Is that a kidney belt or body belt? Kidney belt or body belt?
Kidney belt.
Oh, that's sad.
okay.
Oh, not one of my
Truth
people.
comes out.
Not one of my people. I think that all of the guys leaving teams would quite like to prove a point with their new teams, right? You know, like, that feels good. No one wants to go to a new team and do worse. That goes without saying.
Oh, he's saying that they got to maybe leave, whatever, tomorrow's not that important. I'm just trying to get out of here safe and be ready for the next team, right?
I mean, I don't know, but you've got to think in Chase's position. Winning the championship is, of course, a little bit out of the question. So how much does tomorrow really mean?
Right.
I think that the nations looms large for him. I think he wants to go there, make a statement, do well, all of that good stuff. But if you're Eli, changing teams as well, he has a chance to win the championship tomorrow. So I think that's his priority. I think it's an individual case by case. Ultimately, if you're Chase Sexton, it's championship or nothing. Third in a championship means very little.
And if you're Barsha, you're leaving also. You're like, okay, cool, man. Like,
Barsha's like a lost soul.
Yeah.
Spoke to him earlier. Lost soul. Doesn't know what he's doing, has no contract signed.
he's going to Ducati. They'll get the contract to him.
He's very concerned. There's no contract. We discussed riding a Cove.
The Italians take their time.
They're a long dinner.
Yeah, they're off.
I mean, Barsha's got motivation. Cost of livings went up. Diapers, man.
Can make a big difference in one
Yeah,
night.
Ferrandis better watch that front end, I'm telling you.
Barsha told me that if he doesn't get a deal for next year, his backup plan is to run the bounce house in the paddock. So we'll still see him at every single race.
Okay.
Sir, he's been running a bounce house on Supercross tracks for 10 years.
Yeah.
It's going to be called the Bam Bam Bounce House. It'll work brilliantly.
Bam Bam's house. Yeah, I like it.
Eli Tomac, class act, no drama. Going out.
This is
strong.
your thing.
I
It is
don't
my
like
thing.
this.
He's
I
been
think-
How many
railing.
times are you going to say this?
Yeah, I don't like
Great
this
point.
theory.
It doesn't get talked about enough.
No, I don't
Because
like
we only
it
talk
at all.
about the bad. We never talk about the good.
You talk about it all the time. You can't
Because no
possibly
one-
say it doesn't get talked about enough.
Only by me.
It's a rare Weege loss, this theory.
How is it a loss? Have you seen the other guys leaving their teams? How's that going?
But I don't think that they're doing this on purpose.
That's, if this is a tennis match, we just volleyed it
Wow.
over you.
It's just a
Volleyed it back.
coincidence. All right, go ahead.
Victor, New York, J.J. Welch, and home tracks of Broome, Tioga, and Unadilla. So my question is kind of twofold. One is, over the years, lifelong fan of the sport, it used to seem like riders would take out another rider to advance their position significantly more regularly than they do now, like back to even as recently as the Villapoto and Dungies and, you know, just vying for that spot for that championship. And it seems like as of late that happens significantly less than it used to. And I'm wondering, is that because there's so much respect for the talent that's coming along now, like the Lawrence brothers, where you just don't want to interfere with the greatness? Or is there something else going on in the sport? Because not that I ever thought it was dirty, but it just used to be a little more, you know, backwoods, down and dirty, taking care of business, I'm going to win. And then my second, you know, on that is actually for James. I think it was 2017 Toronto. I was there for that race. I think it was 17.
14? Yeah.
14. That was awesome. Like, I mean, that was like the greatest race of, you know, all time, and I just want to know what was going through your mind when you were coming from so deep to beat these guys that were so great and just overtake them, and you had that track. I mean, you flattened the hills, straightened the curves, and you were just rolling.
Yeah, well, thank you. It was a great race. I answered the second one. For me, that race was that track was really difficult, so I really wasn't necessarily thinking about the other guys rather than trying to, you know, get through it. And I remember about maybe like 4 or 5 laps into it, I wasn't catching them quick enough. And then so that's when I started jumping that triple right before the finish line to try to make up some time. But I also knew I was pretty good in shape that year, that the pace was going to slow down. But to be honest, I kind of blacked out. Like I was in my own world. I think Jeff actually said it correctly that night. Like I was in my own world, kind of in my little zone. And all these guys get like that. You just find a rhythm, and it was it was a difficult race, but at the same time, it was pretty easy for me just because I was in the rhythm. Now, the first question, I think the difference is now why you don't see guys maybe being as aggressive because they all ride together. I mean, you might lose your ex-bike partner these days. I mean, literally, they ride together, so not saying that they don't care or it's a you know, they wouldn't do it, but I think a lot of these guys are friends. It's just a different era. So I didn't have to worry about it. If I took out Ricky, I wouldn't see him again until Saturday, so he'll probably cool down. Where now, half these guys are on the same plane together, and I just think they grew up in different eras. So.
And to your further point, in the mid-'80s, Bob Hanna printed up an obituary notice for Keith Bowen and handed it out at the races.
Yeah,
What?
he's dead
Yeah,
today.
he's dead.
That's a true story.
This happened?
Yeah, Hanna said, Keith Bowen is going to die.
Yeah.
And handed out obituary
Yeah.
notices.
How
I
is
don't
this-
think that's happening now.
How has this never come up on any of your shows?
Oh, I think I've said it.
Oh,
No, you
wow.
haven't.
We've talked
Yeah.
about it.
Can you imagine just Deegs walking around saying, Joe Shimoda, R.I.P.?
That would be a Deeks move.
That
I
would
would
be-
see this
yes.
happen.
Oh,
This may,
it
he may take inspiration from this show.
It happens.
It's like Bradshaw with Roy Jansen, right? He takes out Matasevich. He goes to get it back. Way back in the day, they would give you your purse money on site. And Roy says, hey, I'm going to need 500 back of that. You took out Matasevich. That's a fine. He said, well, hell, take the rest of it because I'm going to take him out again next week. Yeah. That's just how those guys were.
So not happening now.
No.
No.
But part of my take on that is this is the problem when you compare history to now. Over the course of 50 years, we can come up with 8 of these stories. But each one of those is 8 years apart. It seems like it happened all the time. You specifically mentioned Villapoto and Dunge, who both say, I didn't even know how to take people out. I sucked at it. So I think nostalgia always makes us think things used to be gnarlier. There were probably 50 races in a row without anyone taking anyone out, but we remember that one time.
I mean,
And every race today has to compete against that.
Barsha's that old school guy. If
Yeah, it's
Barsha
there.
was winning titles,
Yes.
he would be that guy because he would be much more willing. The only reason Barsha's not cleaning dudes out right now is because he doesn't feel as competitive as he should. If he was in the fight to win, it would be on. It would just be on every week, and Mike Pelletier would be over there yelling at him every week.
Well, Guillaume felt the force of Bum Bum in outdoors. So
Bum Bum.
it does happen. It does happen.
And he's
bump.
probably over supplying AMA with a new truck for all the fans that he was getting, the fines.
Oh, yeah.
Made. So probably in 10, 15 years, they'll be saying, man, back in the day, can you remember when Levi took out Hayden
Totally.
back then? Like, man, those guys, they don't ride like they used to.
Totally.
Levi was a gnarly dude. So, yeah, the RIP.
Yeah.
James,
probably
what was your worst takeout of somebody? What was your one where you were like, oh, my bad?
I was kind of sneaky. I usually try to do it in the back. Yeah. I didn't really try to take out people because I always felt like I'll see them again. You know, I would see them again. So, yeah.
I don't remember you ever just teeing somebody up. Like I'm sure it probably happened,
don't
but
either.
like
Yeah,
I don't have a
either.
trademark T-bone move from James.
Yeah, I did take out Villo in Toronto one year, and I was in the whoop section. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get him. About 5 feet, I was like, and I ended up falling over myself. I just wasn't that guy. So.
You had some violent ones though, but
Yeah.
most of the time it was because you were either going much faster than that person, they had no idea you were coming, or it like the Ricky Unadilla one where it was just wow, that was a big one. But most of the time, I was a part of one. Ivan was a part of. We had no idea you were even there, right? You're going 25 miles an hour faster than we are, and then bad things happen.
Yeah, literally. I mean, you probably should know that. You know how?
I didn't know you were there.
I wasn't
man.
there, and then I was on top of you.
You were.
That's what it was. But,
Sneaky.
yeah.
We're responsible for a rule getting changed
Was I? Oh yeah, back in the
in
day.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
B
you
practice?
should've-
The B
it-
practice.
yeah.
They're like, yeah, that guy cannot ride B practice.
Too fast.
I actually watched that Houston one again. It was your fault.
My fault.
Oh, there we go. There we
you
go.
came.
Well,
you
Alessi
came up.
punted me.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I
that-
didn't-
yeah.
The camera angle.
I should not have been in that
Bondo
line.
didn't get that.
Well,
He
I
didn't
should.
get
So
that.
what happened? I should not have been on the outside. Alessi punted me into the outside.
Okay.
So I couldn't triple on, and then you tripled on right on top of me. So
technically-
yes, my fault, but I did not want to be out there at
Yeah.
all. I promise.
So that's like the scenario we got now. Like, Joe's gonna get punished for what Levi did.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
yeah, you're blaming it on Alessi. I don't know how you came up short on that little. double.
I never was gonna like. You had to come out of
always
that turn and
Alessi.
triple on.
It's always a
I wasn't even doing that line. I was going inside. So when I tried to go inside, Alessi said, "No, sir, you will now be on the outside." And then I met James Stewart briefly.
Well, we both
on the
were
outside.
surprised at that time. So
47.
That's Thomas.
JT.
Glad you finally hashed it out. What do we got here?
All right, this is for the whole panel. Paul Driscoll, Pinion Hills, Southern California. All right, so the scenario is the Lawrence brothers finished first and second in the first moto. They're first and second in the second moto towards the end. Hunter is stalking Jet. Does he put a hard pass in for the championship?
Hard pass, I would say yes. Like over the line stuff, I would say no. But like, I'll give you an example of what it could be similar to, like the pass he tried at Unadilla at the bottom of the wall there.
Yeah.
It wasn't dirty. It wasn't even really all that aggressive, but I think you could see some stuff like that for sure.
I mean, he would have killed them if he would have hit him at Unadilla.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but
He
like,
would've- even
I don't
Jet-
think he's just going to lay up, right? Like, I think, and James has done a great job, and I'll let him get in here, but like pointing out where Jet is the least comfortable in the early laps, that's where I think you could see Hunter really get aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think if it's past halfway, I don't think Hunter or Jet would probably allow himself to be in that spot, but I could see, and I'm with JT, I maybe in a, block pass, the only person that would do that between them two would be Hunter. I don't see Jet doing it. I actually see Jet probably not making that pass rather than Hunter probably would if he had the opportunity because Jet's younger. I think he feels, I don't know, he likes to give baby gifts, but yeah, I could see Hunter doing it, but at the same time, Hunter's been riding really good this year. I think he's somewhat been sneaky underestimated, especially this playoffs. I mean, he's won one, Jet's won the other one, Hunter's been fast. So I could see a scenario where Hunter goes out and just straight up, Jet can't catch him. I mean, unlikely one, but I could see it happening especially out of anybody there. So I don't know if you even get to that spot. I think one of those guys have probably settled it before. But ain't nothing wrong with little brother on brother crime. So,
Yeah, they're not going to hurt each other.
Hunter,
keep trying.
Hunter told me that his strategy is first moto doesn't matter. Like second place is as good as first. Like just bring it home. And then second moto, Jet should lose sleep over that. So that's where we're at.
Okay.
Yes.
Should lose sleep.
Yep.
Has he told him that? That's
I don't
really the
know.
goal. You got to let him know that.
I mean, maybe it's out there now.
Hey,
so maybe it'll
straight
be
up
passed on.
though, straight up, last year Jet, when he won the title, he was like genuinely struggling with how to feel, because we're waiting and we're doing the post race show, and there's a lot of waiting around for highlights and interviews and all these things. Jet could not figure out his emotions. Like he was excited, but then he was just really distraught for Hunter. So there's going to be some of that again. Like it's the same setup. Like Jet, truly, like there was no cameras on him. There was nothing. I could just see it in his face that he didn't know what to make of this, because he knew how much this would have meant to Hunter, and he also like wanted to win for himself. But I think there's a lot of mixed emotions over this stuff.
Yeah, I think we see that again, but maybe magnified, because if that exact same situation plays out for a second time, he's going to feel even worse.
That's what I mean. Like mid-race, I think it could be in the back of his head a little bit.
Yes, so which, to James's point, I could see that play out in the second moto, where Jet is a bit like, okay, if he opens the door, I'll take it, but otherwise, well done, Hunter, good job.
I always think about the Williams sisters who met in a bunch of finals, right, for over the Grand Slams and all that, and you could see, Serena mostly won, I don't remember, but anyways, the other one was always, they were never too happy. They always
Even
thought about
when they won.
Even when they won, they always thought about their other sisters
Yeah.
that they had to beat, right? So.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't built that way. Me and Malcolm, we would probably have some weird relationships because, I mean, I was like, man, hey, sorry, bro, sorry. But I don't know if I would feel, I definitely probably wouldn't feel like Jet did.
If you look really closely, though, when Jet's racing, he has killer instinct in him on the track. Like when he's trying to get to the front, yes, he is careful with Hunter, but he still is really aggressive when he goes about it. I think when he has a chance to remove the emotion from it, slow down a little bit, he changes his thinking. But when that guy's in the moment, you can see it in his riding that he is going to try to go win.
No, I agree. I mean, 100%. And I think it's hard. And especially this year, I got to talk to Jet. I did some interviews, and I know him. Like, there's a relationship that we don't see that those two brothers have. And I think probably Jet really feels like Hunter's been a huge part. Actually, he doesn't feel like he believes that Hunter's been a huge part of why he's as great as he is. But even this year, there were some times that he showed up in the beginning part of the year. Hunter really helped him through it, especially when he got hurt. So I could see to Lewis's point, him being even more emotional if he has a chance to win and Hunter's in second this year, because he probably feels like Hunter is one of the huge, if not the biggest reason why he's able to win this championship, by just being his brother, helping him through some of the times that he had, all the times that we don't know personally. So those brothers are a lot closer than we even think.
We got another one back there.
Hi, my name is Gracie, and my favorite color is blue. And I ride a Honda what's your favorite color and what bike do you ride?
Well, first off, Gracie, I'll let James answer that, but wow, you're going to have a really conflicted night tomorrow between Honda and Yamaha in the 250 class. I'm going to tell you right now.
My favorite color is actually either between green, but probably orange. Like, I'm an orange guy. Only bike never ridden was orange, KTM. So,
Interesting.
but I like red and blue too.
What kind of bike do you have now?
Next question.
Who wants to see James ride again? Come on, everybody. We all want this. We gotta have this. We need this.
Weege,
We
is that
need
cheap
it.
heat? Is that cheap heat, Weege?
You will.
Oh, that's expensive heat.
You'll see me ride. You'll see me ride.
All right.
Well, like when? Like
You'll see me ride.
soon?
What's that?
Soon?
Let's just say you'll see me ride.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it. All right.
You might not like what you see, but you'll see me
Oh
ride.
no, it'll look great.
Yeah.
It's gonna be glorious.
Where are we-
Just glorious.
No.
You're blue crew guys, so what's your answer?
Yeah, blue.
Blue?
Isn't your bike white and red?
Yeah, I got
And
the.
wasn't it purple before this?
Yeah.
Okay, just
Wow.
Yeah,
checking.
but I celebrate Yamaha's anniversaries.
Okay, my favorite color is orange right now, but I have a feeling it will be green real soon.
I personally like the color orange as well because I watched this show Dukes of Hazzard growing up, and I'm like, that's what fast things look like. Back then, KTMs were white and mint color, so it was fine. And then they turned butterscotch, and then they turned orange, and I'm like, now it's going to look like I'm like in the bag for KTM. The show predates their bikes being orange by 15 years. So yes, it is orange, but I am unbiased.
My favorite colors are orange and blue because the University of Florida is the greatest institution in America. Their football team is going to drive me literally insane, but it's orange and blue.
Good question.
Is that the sign?
We got another one here. Here we go.
I've got two questions. Steve, can we get Stu to vet Nations in Fox Hills as a comeback?
I went last year, sir.
Yeah, but can we
Well,
get
Stu.
Stu as his
Stu. I
comeback?
thought you said Steve.
What?
Can you get him to do it?
Can I get Stu?
Yeah.
That Motocross of Nations.
He said
in
we
England.
might see him ride.
Stu, you want to ride an old two-stroke in England?
No. No, I love being over in England, but there's, no.
Phil
I'm good.
hated it this year, didn't he?
I mean,
Phil,
it'd be better
don't listen to
off-
Phil.
You didn't like
he
it
about
much.
scared. He'd scare any rider away.
I have one more question. Do you think Sexton has watched Prado the whole way through this year thinking, oh, shit?
I think that Chase thinks that he can make it work and prove that Prado was in the wrong.
I wish him all the best.
Yeah, I think he's fairly firm on that one. That's my take.
Yep. All the riders and all the teams always believe it'll be
I mean,
different when it's
James
me.
took a backwards motor Yamaha and won on that.
He won. He won some races.
I was struggling for a while. Yeah.
Daytona? You won Daytona for sure, right?
I mean, we fixed it. I mean, now it's good. But, I mean, look at Fevra. I mean, you talk about Kawasaki. So,
Look at Mitchell Harrison.
yeah.
Here we go.
I mean, any bike you can win on if you want to win, period. So,
I tried them all.
yeah.
We're going to leave it at that. That is our podcast mashup here on a Friday. We'll see everybody tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. Thanks to great James Stewart for coming out. The rest of these guys, don't worry
Yeah,
about
let's
them.
give Stu a hand.
Yeah, give Stu a hand.
Give Stu a hand.
Thank you. We're going to go. Thanks, everybody.